Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade video, and we're going to talk about both the Japanese version as well as the global version. There was some big news that actually impacts both portions of the game, which is actually in some ways very nice. Well, unless you're sleeping under a rock, you probably heard for the global version, we're getting a total of 70 gacha chances. It's going to be broken apart though over a few week period. So basically what's going to happen is on the 13th, you're going to get 10 gacha tickets at that time. There's also going to be a AP supplementary pack times 5. On the 17th, you're going to get another 10 gacha tickets with another AP supplementary pack times 5, it appears. On December 20th, you're going to get another 10 gacha tickets, and it's going to be for those first 3, as you see. It'll be limited to the current gacha. What that exactly means, well, it's going to be for the current banner, and we will talk about that separately in a bit. On December 23rd to January 11th, you're going to get the AP supplementary pack times 5 again, plus a free gacha chance once per day, and it's going to be 20 days in total. Then for December 27th, the gacha ticket, you'll get 10 more with AP supplementary pack times 5, and on the 31st, you're going to get another 10 gacha packets and an AP supplementary pack times 5. Now they did put in print underneath that the gacha tickets given away can only be used in certain gachas. The free gacha chances once per day event is only applied to certain gachas. For example, gacha ticket A can only be used in banner A. Obvious stuff. Now in the in-game announcements, we have the Phantom Parade featured gacha that will be starting at the same time of the first tickets, i.e. you can assume these tickets will be for that. Why do I say that? Well, just reading the fine print. Also, it is very common in Japanese version when they drop tickets, it associates with that banner that currently dropped. So take that with a grain of salt. The featured gacha will be held starting on December 13th, where the SSR Recollection bits I Will Follow You, Mr. Nanami will be available. So there you go. That's how they're featuring it with that recollection bit. Also too, during the gacha event period, they'll be distributing AP supplementary packs as we've discussed, and the gacha tickets as we've discussed. The gacha tickets can only be used in this gacha. So there you go, right there, boom. End the story. And also going to be in the banner SSR Maverick Outcast Maki. Yeah, SSR Blast from the Past Todo, and of course the I Will Follow You, Mr. Nanami. So yeah, I'm sure people are going to gripe because those tickets are going to go along with that, and then of course we will find out what the future banners will. But let's be honest, okay? Let's talk about this for a second. Is it perfect? No. Is it an adequate attempt so far? Yes. Why do I say that? Well, because you have two things working in your favor as a player now. The ticket's fine. Maybe you'll get something good. Maybe you won't. Who cares? That's not the important part. The AP packs, the fact that we're still getting double resource dropping, for this weekend at least. I hope they continue it, but who knows. And the fact of now you know you can save. Or at least if you still want to try for Yuta, if you still want to try for Gojo, you know there's nothing now currently on the onset. And you can assume there is going to be nothing major banner-wise dropping during this time period, which puts us through to the end of the month. So if you still want to go for those characters, you're probably safe. We still don't know January, we still don't know February, and we don't know where the future roadmap is going to go. but at least now you know December, you're safe, so that is a positive. Now, for the Japan version, and which impacts the global version, is we are finally, over a year later in Japan version of the game, getting a rerun of the movie crossover. This is good news across the board. Why? A, Yuta has not been available since that first run. I don't have it on my Japanese account. I reiterated that many a times. And that means it will come back to global. And you can assume, let's say, that given if they keep doing the banners such as they are in global, at some point they will catch up, which means most likely this rerun will happen sooner than later than it did in Japan if everything else is moving on that fast track. And that is a good thing, because then people that either didn't have enough, couldn't pull Yuta, will have a chance to get this character again, probably sooner than how it was in Japan. Because remember, you have to think about this logically, okay? If they burn through the content, let's say that's a year's worth of content and they burn through it in global in 6 months' time, well, think about that. That means they are going to be stuck on the rotation of Japan. And what that will mean is if things will slow down like the Japanese version, the game will then be on a much more palatable means for free to play and light spenders. And on top of that, the outlook for the game will be very similar to Japan at that point, and reruns have occurred. The only thing that had not rerun in Japan is the movie collab. Okay, so now everything has a possibility of coming back. Okay, so that is, to me, very good news. If you can grin and bear the storm, at some point there will be no content to speedrun. So I know it's a very optimistic approach. I just say that because it's the reality of the situation. I mean, I spent 6 months struggling on the Japanese version because I was having the worst pulls of my life until Half Annie. Didn't have Yuta, never got Hollow Purple Gojo in that first 6 months. But once the general pool was updated, I was able to get Hollow Purple Gojo pretty easily. And that's what's going to happen here. So if people can keep their wits about themselves, if they really do as what they've been doing, the content's going to run out, and then there's going to be no choice in the matter. So that to me is the positive outlook for this. You might not agree, that's your choice, but it's the reality of the situation. The other cool thing they did with this rerun is they added Miguel now as a new character into this rerun, which is really cool, because I don't think, I'm 99.9% sure we don't have a Miguel out there. And so this was really nice to see. The fact that they're adding characters to the rerun makes that content even better for people that did pull on the prior one, because now they have something else to look forward to. And, you know, I love it when they add characters that aren't necessarily the mainstays to the game. So I'm really happy to see Miguel being put in there. I think that is good stuff. And for the Japanese version, you are going to get 10 free tickets for those banners coming for this rerun, which is also really cool. And it pretty much puts and solidifies the fact that Sukuna is not coming for First Annie, and it actually kind of makes some sense, and let me tell you why. It makes much more sense to drop Sukuna with the next story arc that is coming for the JP version of the game. It would be appropriate, and it would not shock me that that is going to be when the first playable version of Sukuna comes into JJK Phantom Parade, the Japanese version, because at least they kind of follow how they do the arcs and chapters in the game, not so much global, but again, that will probably be the character that will be featured, and we can expect, very similar to Gojo in my opinion, that there will be so many different versions and they'll all be top ranked tiers like Gojo. That's what I fully expect to happen. So it doesn't shock me that the character hasn't dropped or wasn't dropped for First Annie. So that's about it, besides the fact that we are going to get, of course, another map event that will drop alongside the banner in global. But yeah, let me know, and it'll be interesting to see how the community reacts at this time. I'll be very curious about that, because honestly, somebody's trying, and I think whoever that is, be it if it's the moderators such as Xanon, if it's some of the people on the publishing staff that are more active on the Discord, whoever it is, you know, these aren't the people that make the final choices in the game, so they can only do their best. And if people aren't willing to listen, then it is what it is. But again, I will finish this video with one last sentiment. If you're not happy, the best way to show your disdain is to delete the game and not play it. Lower download numbers means lower revenue, and if they have X number of players and now it's dropped by a very noticeable percentage, trust me when I say that will speak volumes. But yelling and screaming on the forums, especially in tones and means that are inflammatory or insulting, go nowhere, okay? They really do. But true hard numbers, when they look at their reports and figures, say the most. So if you are still very unhappy, delete the game from your device. It's that simple. That's all you have to do. I've said this before and I'll say it again. There is too many options out there to play something you're not happy with. And if you're going to play it, then you know how things are going to play out now. It's just a reality, okay? We don't know when we're going to see pity transfer. We don't know when we're going to see the AI. We don't know when we are going to see the general pool updated. Could be next month, could be 3 months from now, okay? The point is, we don't know. So now it is just a decision of if it means enough to you to stay with the IP in the game. And if it doesn't, hit that delete button, because that will speak more than anything else you can do. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.